promise you a surprise, but we're still working on it. We also want to involve y'all, so definitely stay tuned and hit the bell notification, so that way you can find out exactly when it drops. So that way, if this surprise applies to you, at least for this one particular episode, you could definitely make sure that you're involved. Now, so what app just dropped?
I don't remember. I will find that in 2 seconds. But I do know that Koala dropped an update and Cubasis dropped an update. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, I know Koala has Bluetooth MIDI now.
Bluetooth MIDI. I was actually gonna ask you, did you test it yet? Because I know you love your Bluetooth MIDI.
Yo, I'll be honest with you.
No.
Like, I haven't messed with it. I haven't messed with it yet. All I did with Koala, I connected it with the tracker, and I was just controlling it from the tracker. But that's it. I didn't even know Koala didn't have Bluetooth MIDI, to be honest with you, because I never thought about using Bluetooth with Koala. You know?
This is true.
But I would definitely. You know what? I can test it out right now. Give me a minute.
I like test it out right now for the show. I'm gonna read the. I'm just pulling up the actual everything in the update, and I'm gonna read it.
All right.
Listeners, if you are listening on your podcast and want to see visuals, just go to YouTube and we are there, or hit the link in the description. Okay, so the new update version 1.4048. Bluetooth MIDI device support, some UI animations, AUV3 remembers song name now. Oh, okay. Fixed export all sequences so it doesn't miss the first beat. Didn't know that either. I never had a problem with exporting anything out. You?
Yeah,
I didn't even know that was a problem.
When that export first came out, I exported a joint I had made and put it in Reason, and I was like, oh. This is kind of crazy because it gave me stems.
Right. Yeah, shit was actually worked pretty great.
Yeah, yeah. That goes to show you how much I've been exporting.
You know, I don't export a lot. You know, I plug into that task cam and I transfer out into whatever. Usually my main is, everyone knows, Team Beatmaker 3.
I'll be honest with you. I am like... I have like grown to like appreciate 2 tracks. Like once I mix it in the box, I mean I could mix it on the phone, something plug that. Once I plug that joint into the head on the speakers, if that joint is knocking right, I ain't touching it.
Yeah. Why? Same.
You know, so
exactly why. Should sound good is good.
Let me make sure
you can now.
Updated Koala.
My bad.
No. I'm just making sure I updated Koala on my phone because I'm gonna mess with the Bluetooth.
Okay. I was just gonna say, it says you can now open M4A files even if they have MP3 extensions, and thanks YouTube in parentheses. Subtle grid lines and some of the performance effects. Fix crash in AUM when using resample loop. I've never used it in AUM, so. Fix the crash when using with Mpcro. I did use it with Mpcro. I had no problems with it. Got rid of the click and tone control. And the keyboard map now allows selecting sequences, bar length, and double up. Wait a minute. Wait,
you said what?
The keyboard map now allows selecting sequences, bar length, and double up. That's dope.
That's kind of fire. So you could. Oh, that's kind of almost like that's turning into almost like an MPC. So remember how you could press the pad and it would bring, like, say you had like 5 sequences and you could press your pad 4 that bring up sequence 4.
Right.
That's
fire.
That's kind of dope. Because I mean, Koala's pretty dope for live stuff anyway because of the performance effects. But that makes it even better because like you can have the performance effects on the page and then still be triggering like your sequences. And you know, Koala, like it triggers a sequence, like you could be halfway through the sequence and you press. You trigger the next one, and it's going to just immediately switch to that. That's kind of
But for me, it definitely would be. And if you use MIDI controllers, because the fact that I can't just, if you map Bank A in Koala, and you map it to your MIDI controller, but then you switch to Bank B and you want to switch over, you have to remap your MIDI controller to that. That's so ass.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, why can't I just hit B and be on this next fucking bank and my controller's controlling it? That shit. And you know what? It's funny. I woke up this morning. My email was a koala survey. He emailed everyone, and I filled this shit the fuck out, and I wrote that clearly. Like, this is the only thing you're missing, bro. Fix this, and I'm sure we're good. Like,
I wonder if that should definitely be an option. Cause yeah, I don't know nothing about that.
I wrote that shit in capitals.
Fix it, family.
I ain't got no complaint. Just fix that, and we good. Cause having to go back and do that, fuck out of here. The drama. Cubasis. Let's see. Cubasis update.
My dumb ass about to ask if it was 2 or 3. Never mind.
You know, I need to learn to start specifying certain number apps because I don't do that. Like, I'll say Nano Studio, like it's not 2 versions of it.
If people don't realize that you're talking about the most recent one,
right?
That's true.
Right. Because let's keep it a buck. Nobody, and I mean nobody is I mean a couple maybe please disable the Bluetooth from settings to make this process work. What? Nobody, and I mean nobody is expecting a Beatmaker 2 update. So I don't think it's even. We don't even have to say Beatmaker 3. Nobody's expecting a Beatmaker 3. Right. Damn sure I know ain't nobody waiting for a Beatmaker 1 update. You know. So this one is actually updating the firmware on my Bluetooth joint.
On your phone.
I don't even know what the hell is going on because it won't let me. Because it's I hate it's the only thing I don't like about this Witty Master joint. It's like it'll tell you you need to update your device or whatever, and you're like, all right, I'm updated, but then in the middle of updating it, it'll be like disable Bluetooth and re-enable Bluetooth in order to make this work. So you do it, and then it says disable Bluetooth and re-enable Bluetooth. So then you do it again, and then it's like, oh, update aborted, motherfucker! All right, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this motherfucker on the air. It's all good.
Okay, so what's in this new Cubasis 3.4 update? Ableton link support. MIDI recording workflow improvements. I thought they already had Ableton link support.
I thought
I'm so confused.
I'm always thinking that every app got Ableton link. You know what I mean? Until I go there and be like, you don't got Ableton link, bruh. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts, because if the iMpc Pro could have that shit, you just would assume everything that came after that would have it. If that ain't the nicest way for me to put it, I don't know, but we have it now in Cubasis. Thank God. Pause Cubasis for a minute. Speaking of the iMpc Pro, your face. Jesus, silly, bro. Yeah. I feel so bad. I don't want to poop on Retronyms. You know, I love the company, but the app is pissing me off because Koala doesn't have the greatest sound either. I have to do something to it if I want it. If I care about that beat, like, all right, for instance, everything I throw on Instagram, they throwaways. They're me having fun and practicing. Any beat I plan on selling or giving someone you'll never hear it. I promise. You won't even know I made it. Cypha has a catalog of beats I've made. No one's going to hear it till he decides those are just his. We don't put them on the gram. Nobody's going to fucking, you know what I mean? Unless it's a sneak peek.
Right.
Those beats, I cannot just take from Koala and give away. Like, I couldn't give Cypha that last beat I made you. I think was my best beat in history I ever made. I couldn't just take that out of Koala, even though I made it in Koala, and give it to you. I had to bring it to the PC and beef it up. I had to because it didn't have that. It's an old school boom bap track, Cheese, and it didn't have that grimy coming out of Koala the way I needed it to.
I keep it a buck with Koala. I love the workflow and everything on it, but anytime I make anything in there, like that low pass filter that they have, I always have to turn that on because
turn your highs up, right?
No, I want to turn the highs off, like, cause I feel like everything that comes out the iPad is
the
like
too
real
poppy sound.
it's too shiny, way too shiny. You know what I mean? Like that's and that's just the computers, the iPads, period. Like even with Reason, you know, I love me some Reason.
That extra polished kind of sound.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't want that, you know, clean. But you know what, bro? You know how we say Koala got his own little following? That shit has its own little cult, too, of people that really use that and only that. And I don't know why.
I mean...
I think it's just solely the name, Akai.
Pretty much. It's the whole... It's the thought of it, like, of it being an MPC. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
And it's crazy because, like, I'll be honest with you. Like MPCs, they do definitely have, like, some type of sound to them, like the older ones at least. Like the 1000 and 2500, I don't feel like have that sound. I felt the 1000 and 2500 to me is real shiny because I had the 1000.
That's like the new ones too. You feel like the one has that one don't have that sound probably, right?
It doesn't, but you can. It's easy to get.
You can get it, but it's not natural.
Yeah, no, you could, because I mean it's a computer at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like because it's just a little computer running Linux.
I say that because I know the X don't got the sound like the old ones.
But one thing I will say though is with the if you like the way I have the one set up is that when anything that gets sampled in, it's going through a bit crusher, a filter, and a little bit of overdrive. Yeah. So like, cause like basically what I was trying to do with it is imitate the old samplers. You know what I mean? So back in the day, and not even just the old samplers, but even just the way that, you know, we would sample back in the days. You know what I mean? Like we ain't know, so we was turning the volume all the way up. You know what I mean? So
starting the shit out.
And then hearing it being like, yo, that shit actually sound kind of fire like that. You know what I mean? So like because I also remember like having like the S20 and getting something to go in it and then making a beat, and the beat was mad low. The volume was mad, and this is before I knew about compressors or anything. So I'm just recording the beat to a cassette tape and then turning the volume up to record to another cassette tape. And then by the time you get the volume where you want it, it sound like total ass. Because you don't
even sound like the same track.
Yeah, because you don't put it on 3 different tapes and you done boosted the volume every time. You know what I mean? So like, but like the one and like the new MPCs, you can get great sound out of that, especially with the plugins they got in there. You know what I mean? Like them joints. You talk about we in the future. We are in the future with those. You know what I mean? Like who'd ever thunk that you have an MPC that you can throw in your book bag that got a synthesizer in it, all the effects you need, audio tracks, Wi-Fi connection. You know what I mean?
That alone is mind-boggling, and now it updates. They said over Wi-Fi. I'm like, oh my god, so amazing, because I never want. Yeah, that's what Bry said.
You mentioned that just recently.
Yeah. Bry told me that, if I'm not mistaken. Was it Bry that told me that? He said that, right?
I don't know. I think so.
And I was like, what? But I'm not gonna lie, I did see the update option on there. I just didn't do it yet. Because I have bad luck with updates, so I'm just not updating a fucking thing till like 4 versions in. Yeah. Now that I got the SP working right, that I took that firmware out, that shit, it's way better. Way better.
Good.
Yeah. That's dope. I'm glad it ain't working, because like, yo, I see a lot. I think that firmware like bricked it for a lot of people. Because I told you I almost had one. I almost had one for retail price and not secondhand price. But I moved too slow. And then they was like, oh, well, actually, we don't have none in stock no more, so we canceled your order. I was like, I was hurt.
I told you, if you want, I'll call.
Oh, well, no, it's too late now. You know how it comes up.
Yeah, so, let me read the rest of Cubasis real quick. Update. State save, total recall improvements. Wait, that might have just fixed. Remember when I got Cubasis 3, it never worked and it wouldn't save anything? The state save wasn't working, nothing was working. That might have just fixed my Cubasis, and maybe I could get back into Cubasis now.
Oh.
Because that was my problem with it. I mean, shit, it took them long enough. That was what, a year and a half ago?
That was wild.
Let's keep it 1,000.
Cubasis 3 been out for a minute, man.
Right. And it says 75 plus improvements. So that was the update, and they're on sale right now. No, I'm sorry. Their in-app purchases are on sale.
Oh, okay.
Which they have great in-app purchases because
Yeah,
you
they
can
do.
purchase the wave bundle and shit. That's all 50% off, people. So get in on it quick. What?
I got a question. If you bought the Waves bundle, and I know the answer. I already know the answer to this, but you know, you might as well ask. You bought the Waves bundle and Cubasis 2. That don't translate over, right?
I don't remember. What's the answer? You know it?
I figured it didn't. That was the.
I honestly didn't remember.
Cause I know, cause I bought them Waves, the Waves bundle and 2 when it was like half off or something like that. So
fuck it, we're gonna tell you right now. Cause I know goddamn well I did not buy those bundles and effects again. So if it's not in Cubasis 3, then it does not transfer.
Yeah, the only thing Cubasis 3 was missing for me was I mean, not Cubasis 2 was being able to bus multiple tracks to one fader. That was the only thing that was missing. But I got that from what's it called? What's that 4 Pockets app? Multitrack, 4 Pockets Multitrack or whatever. But yeah. So if I wanted to use the waves with like on something, I wanted to do a good little mix down. And plus Cubasis 2 only lets you do 3 effects on a track. That shit used to kind of like blow mine. Like bruh. Like,
yeah.
This is 2020.
Yeah.
3 effects? 3?
Right. Right. You hear what's going on out there, Cubasis?
They don't care.
Right.
Them motherfuckers is like, oh, we throw these iPad people with this stuff. Yeah. You know good and damn well on the computer they're not limiting you to no damn 3 effects. You know what I mean? But
no, that's never that. Yeah.
My Waves bundle's in here, bro. I ain't rebuy this, so it transfers over. I ain't rebuy none of this. I promise you I didn't. I'm too cheap. And it's in here. So I guess, yeah. I don't know. Listen, listeners,
maybe I can use
don't
another
know.
door. Psych, it's Taco Tuesday.
No, Cubasis 3 is way better than 2, though. They have way better features. I'll give it that. But I just want to make this clear. Listeners, I don't know if you can still... If you buy Cubasis 3 and it'll still transfer over, it did for me a year or 2 ago when it came out. I just want to clarify that in case anyone goes and buys that shit because I said,
right,
don't do that.
Right.
I'm responsible for shit.
Man, Ms.LeD, no.
Facts.
No.
And you know
Disclaimer.
Right.
Have you seen what Nintendo did this week, right?
Oh, did you ever? Nintendo always been like that about their fucking music.
Yo, that shit is crazy. This cat, I heard it was a cat that had his whole YouTube page is based off like just basically replaying Nintendo songs from Nintendo games.
I read that as well.
And they hit him with the copyright, the basically the stop, what's
the
it?
Cease and desist, yeah.
That's it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They've been like that for a minute though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Nintendo don't play when it comes to their shit.
Nope.
Which is stupid, because the more people using your shit, no matter what it be for, the better.
But you know what's crazy though is like when people first started streaming video games online, a lot of video game companies were doing that to people. Like NBA 2K, I think it was 2K. They like before they realized what kind of like thing they had going on, they didn't want people like putting up videos of the game. And I'm like, bro, that is free advertising. Like,
right.
If me as a part-time gamer, right? I go online to watch videos of games because I want to see how fluid it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see how the game moves before I actually buy it. You know, I want to, but like, I don't but I guess they was afraid that like faults would be shown. But like, to me, that's also good too, because now you don't even have to do you getting free market research,
publicity and all that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got your users right there telling you what's wrong with your game.
Right.
And you don't even have to pay them to do that. Right?
You ain't gotta pay. You ain't gotta pay analysts and none of that stuff. I mean, your user base is gonna tell you. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But if Nintendo was smart, they would have a little streaming service for their music since they want to play. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
And
That's
they could
a
afford
whole
it.
fact.
Right. They definitely could afford it.
Because there's a lot of soundtracks to a lot of games over the years that got some fire joints on there.
Man, Zelda, all
That
type
is
of shit.
Yeah,
Donkey
yeah,
Kong. I done
word.
flipped every Donkey Kong
Man,
you could think of.
Listen. Get it
That's
together,
true.
Nintendo. Come on,
Word. And then cut my bro a check.
man. Yeah, right here. P.O.
Cut
Box.
the
No, I'm
check.
kidding.
Cut that check. That's a dope idea. Shit, Disney basically did it. Kinda.
You know, they got a frozen radio and all that.
Oh, word? I didn't even know that.
No.
It's a
Check it out.
frozen-
Hot take. I got a hot take for y'all.
I like a hot take.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if y'all been seeing it circulating around on Twitter, but who wins in a versus battle between
Okay.
Eminem and Busta Rhymes?
Okay.
I'm gonna go out on record right now and say this: Busta Rhymes beats Eminem in a versus battle. At me.
I could see it.
I think Busta
But I'm
got
not-
the catalog to definitely, because Busta catalog go back further, way further than Eminem's. You know what I mean?
People forget though. Excuse me. People forget Busta has rapped on everything.
It's true.
Feature wise. Just feature wise. He's on everything.
Remix game crazy, yeah.
He didn't collab with Tribe, Biggie, LL, like you know,
Janet Jackson. It keeps going.
Yeah, Mariah Carey.
It keeps going. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and not to say that
T-Pain,
Eminem.
you know, I mean, he's everywhere, man.
You want to know something crazy though? Like, I got a homeboy. He always laughs at me when I say this. I've never been the biggest Eminem fan, and he's always like,
Well,
why?
see,
I'm
I
like,
am.
See,
I am.
For me,
I'll put it on record. I am. Well, I was a big Eminem fan up until Eminem show. He's had joints here and there after that to me on different albums that I appreciate. Don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to sound like I'm, dissing Eminem and nothing like that. That ain't happening. But my favorite era of some of the stuff he was doing was around the Marshall Mathers LP. Like, to me, that's
Like his
one of
beginning shit, basically.
that's the second album. Or third album, because he had Infinite first. So, see, listeners, yeah, I do mess with Eminem. But in a versus battle, versus is just different, man.
yeah, and see, and for me, like I'm going with Busta, and see, but this is partially because I don't, like I said, I've never been a big Eminem fan. So like for me, Eminem, like he lost me. Like the marketing for Eminem always was what lost me, because it was always him, like basically dissing his mother, and I could never just be like, yeah, I fucks with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I get it. Like some people have mothers that they don't get along with it, stuff like that. Like I've met some people who have had like some real interesting situations with their parents. You know what I mean? But that wasn't my situation.
I'm walk out, bro. He don't even got a clue who he talking to right now. I love
Listen,
it.
I was about to say, yeah, you talking to my demographic.
Word. That's what we loved about him.
and see, that's my whole point. That's my whole point.
Listen, not
That's the whole
everybody
point.
comes
Everybody
from,
got
the
different
wholesome,
experiences.
functional family, you know
Like
what I'm
we
saying?
do.
Oh, trust me, my family is not wholesome and not exactly functional. I learned how to curse from my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? But I was also.
But
raised,
I feel what you're saying, though. I see what you're saying.
No, because see, for me, like I was raised by a house full of women. You know, my mother, my grandmother, and my aunt.
Yeah.
They're the ones that raised me. Not that my pops wasn't there, but like those are the ones.
Understandably, you can see how the marketing scheme behind a lot of that to you was just, it didn't wasn't
But
on your radar.
I will say this though. When I did listen to Eminem, like it was never a point where I was like, oh nah, this kid can't spit. His flow is trash. His bars is weak. Never, ever. But I just never like I could never get past the whole thing with him dissing his moms. Like the first album, I love the first album. Like I never meant to give you mushrooms, girl. I never meant to bring you to my world. That was my joint. I ain't never did mushrooms, but that was my joint. You know what I mean? You know, like after like. It's because he did so many albums with it. I was just like, oh, here we go again. You know what I mean? It was like, you know that scene from
yeah. Some of the aspects, and that's
that's kind of like when I'm saying some of these when we were going into the Nas discussion and some of these new albums with older rappers. How many times can we hear you say the same shit type shit? You know what I mean?
Facts.
As far as Busta and M, I don't like it. I don't see it. I wouldn't put them together, but
I wouldn't either. But I would make it one hell of a celebration.
Yeah, but since
more than a Verzuz.
That is the topic at hand. Them two, I don't know, because Busta's gonna eat him in performance.
Energy and performance.
Yeah, energy and performance. Busta's already won that. I don't know, really. I don't know. And it also depends on what songs are being played too. Like, because Busta start going back into that old school bag, I'm gonna be hype as a motherfucker. Like Busta going to that,
all you gotta do for me is turn on a scenario remix.
You know that's the winner.
I seen him perform that live at the Apollo. Like when I was probably in like
that must have been amazing.
Grade.
Yeah, I bet that was crazy.
Yo, it was dope as probably one of the best concerts I ever been to. It was mad people. KRS-One was there, DOS Effects. Tribe. Leaders in New School. Like the crazy thing was at the beginning, it was like Louis Farrakhan talking, right? He was preaching and everything, and he was like, all right, my part is done. Now we get to the concert. And then like DOS Effects comes out, KRS-One comes out, and then all of a sudden you literally hear the opening to Scenario 2. And the whole joint, like, mind you, it's me, my brother, my mom's on this side, my pop's on this side. Me and my brother, like, you know what I mean? And the Apollo Theater is tiny, like, you know what I mean? And it ain't much space for your legs. You know, you sitting there, you're literally bumping your knees up into the next seat. You know what I'm saying? But the joint was rocking, man. Like, and like, the crazy part about it was, because you know the first verse is a dude Hood who had died before the song came out. First verse, nobody's on stage. They just playing the music, and the whole Apollo is singing a verse. You know what I mean? It was like, and then you know everybody else comes out on their parts, man. That's why like I can't. You know me. You asked me that question. I gotta go with Busta, man. I got to. You know.
I don't know. That's a hard one. I don't know. I don't like the matchup.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Only reason I don't like the matchup is because, like, we in the internet world right now, and people get real bold behind keyboards, and because Eminem is white, you're going with this, and because Busta is black, oh my God,
the stands galore.
Like it would just stir
It'll
up.
ruin the moment.
Like
you see how we walked away from the KRS-One and the Big Daddy Kane feeling amazing. Like we all walked away like, oh my God, that's how you do it. We won't walk away from Eminem and Bust like that because of that reason. They're gonna ruin it. They're gonna ruin it.
I really believe so. I really believe this would be the one verse that actually draws a line in the sand and would just mess things up. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
they respect each other too much as MCs too for this to even probably happen in the first place. But I just seen it circulating around online, you know, for the last few days. You know, people bringing it up and talking about it, and of course you've seen the stands in the comments too. But you know,
of course,
some of the other cast that's in the comments too was like, yo. Basically what I gathered from it, man, was just looking at it like most of the comments had to come from people born after 1998.
Oh, of course.
You know what I mean? So it was like, man, you wasn't even outside. You wasn't even there for, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
they can't even understand
the concept. The womb.
Right. The greatness prize.
It's like, do you know what? Okay, you know what I'm saying?
No, so when you first brought it up, I thought you was talking about, because I heard people talking about, I was like, whoa, I was like, I know he ain't up here about to talk about some Music Soul Child and Anthony.
I'm not even interested in that, and I love them, but I'm like,
And listen, yeah, Music Soul Child, that's my dude.
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I gotta go with
Hamilton.
Anthony Hamilton.
Anthony Hamilton
That's
go
my
hard
favorite.
too. Go hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I love
they do.
him.
They do. They both do. But I could honestly say that would be a versus that I would definitely turn the channel for away. I've never been a big R&B dude. Like I love R&B, but I just
R&B fits
I'm an
in
R&B
the
dude.
versus model though.
I'm an
I
R&B
think
dude.
It's boring when it's R&B on verses. Well, certain R&B because like
Yo, you can't front that Teddy Riley Spice and Babyface, a little bit of
that's
spice
why I
they
said
had
certain
with each
R&B.
other. Like, listen,
that's a different level of R&B right there. That's
you talking about Mount
the
Rushmore's.
Kings,
you know what I mean?
the Kings R&B right there. I absolutely would love to see that, but I don't think. Yeah, maybe they're not at that level yet. I don't know. So R&B ones,
Isley brother, like
even Shaka Khan and what you call it, Stephanie Mills. Even though it was all crazy, I appreciated that. If you consider that R&B, you know what I mean. Like, but I don't know the slow, like the Alicia Keys and John Legend. I wasn't interested in.
Oh my God, I didn't even know they had that.
Back. What was it? Was it Blackstreet and 112? Who went against 112?
I don't even remember.
I don't either.
I didn't even know they had a versus.
Right, it was horrible because this was before they actually did like direct audio. It was a mess.
Oh,
and one of them was really bad.
This is while they was still doing it live on.
But
IG
I wasn't interested. It didn't drag me in.
The crazy thing when they was doing the joints without the direct audio, I was like, yo, how do they not know how to do this?
Right.
I was like, how does no one told them that you could just plug this damn interface in and boom, you got direct audio? Like
the other people that are associated with the WeSample community was saying the same thing. Some of the listeners listening right now, they were saying the same thing. Like, yo, why haven't they figured out how to do this, man?
Yep.
Like,
because I remember I was in New Orleans and my girl took me down there for my birthday, I think in 2019. And there was a turntable in the room, and they had like vinyl in the room or whatever. But it was like the vinyl they had was like the old the ragtime jazz or whatever. So I was like, oh, this is cool, but I ain't getting no real samples out of this. You know what I mean? Like, not for me at least. But I remember I had gone live and I had my interface with me, and I did it on purpose because I wanted to see if I plugged the interface in, because I knew with the camera, if you recorded like with an interface into your if you recorded a video with an interface in your phone, you didn't get the microphone on the phone got disabled, and it was and you got the direct audio. And so I wanted to see if that happened on live. And I remember somebody came in live, was like, yo, Cheez, what up? And I was like, yo, tell me what you hear right now. I was like, can you hear my voice? And I started talking. And he was like, nah, all I hear is New Orleans jazz. And I was like, oh. And at that point I was like, yo, this is kind of crazy. And I'm dead ass. Like I was like, even for them to start that thing, like, and not have direct audio, I was like, yo, this is kind of bananas right now.
Yeah.
Like,
they didn't think it was gonna turn into what it turned into.
Definitely.
They
no,
just
I mean, but it's
Tim and Swiss. They was
Now I feel like Tim and Swiss knew what it could be from day one. Because remember when Just Blaze and Swiss went round for round on it was either YouTube or Instagram like 2-3 years before that.
Yeah.
Remember that joint was crazy, but they still ain't had because I think that was what like kind of set it in motion for them. It was like, oh wow, like this is really, really kind of dope. You know what I mean? And I think Swiss and then Timberland went beat for beat on Instagram Live, and because Alicia Keys was talking about it, and she was saying how Swiss was like he couldn't get a signal.
He had to go to the car, and
he was just playing beats in the car.
I watched that when they did it live.
I ain't see it. I
did too.
Yeah, that shit was I remember that shit.
Because I remember when I seen it, I was like, yo, this is gonna be like this. I was like, yo, this is the smartest idea ever, because like you are building a fan base while people are locked in the house, right? And as soon as they can get out the house, you now have a tour. Like, who's not gonna go see the Verzuz live? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
especially if it's a lineup you want to see.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man.
And
Yeah,
so
they
many great
capitalized on that.
concerts came out of that shit, like too. Like, so imagine that as a tour. Imagine that fucking KRS-One joint as a tour with all the people that came on.
No, they could do that. They could definitely do that.
Yeah, they could
Easily.
definitely do that.
It's for me the only thing that would have to change is that Big Daddy Kane, he gotta do his old songs. Like he gotta do his old. Like I appreciated him spitting over like the new beats and stuff like that, but we want to sing along with you, bro. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like you know what I mean? Like
that's
like,
what I think. I get what you mean too, because the Verzuz is like, man, we came to, but it's like going to any concert. Because I've been to concerts where it's like, yo, I'm looking forward to hearing some of their classics and blah, 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 whatever. And then they get up there, and of course, they try to promote the new album. I get it. But, bro, like, nobody knows these songs, man. We came up here to hear this. We came to hear this. And
like for me, it's like, yo, if that's what you're going to do with the tour coming, you need to release that song before the tour starts. So when we get to the tour, like, we can sing along with you, and we can confirm that this new song is a new classic.
That song is dope.
And that you never left. Because, like, you know, people be like, oh, I ain't back, I ain't never left. So you want us to confirm that. So let us confirm it for you. You know what I mean? Like
right, bro.
I'm not like I said, I dug when Kane was spitting to those new beats and, you know, up to date beats or whatever. But at the same time, like I'm looking at Kane like, yo, bro, like, if I'm in my 40s, because you've been an adult my whole life. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily want to hear you on that type of thing, but like
on the newer types of productions. I dig what you're saying. Yeah,
you know, but at the same time, though, because he was able to carry himself and do that shit very well, I wasn't even mad at it. You know what I mean?
That's why I liked it. I felt the opposite because it was going so well. I even gave him the W behind that, being able to keep up like that, and I was just amazed. I was like, even
tough,
breath
bro.
control, everything. I was like, wow.
No, that's a fact.
Like,
that's a fact. Breath control, definitely.
I'm a little biased too because I always loved him. Like,
oh man,
it's all good. All good.
Kane, like you couldn't tell me I wasn't Big Daddy Kane when I was a little kid. Like, I had a flat top. We was both, you know, we both had the same like kind of brown complexion or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Warm it up, Kane. Warm it up, Kane. You know what I mean? Like scoop and scrap, all that. Get that.
But yo, listeners, we're gonna have to put a poll up. We'll put a poll up for the listeners on who you would think would win in a versus between Busta Rhymes and Eminem. We want to get y'all's opinions on that.
Yeah,
Jesus. That's a hard one. I don't know.
Nobody
like
wants smoke with Busta Rhymes, bro. I'm telling y'all. Nobody wants
but he can be beaten. I just don't know if it's Eminem that's going to do it. I don't know. Like I said, the matchup for me is bothering me. I don't like that matchup.
Well, some of these matchups, you know, was kind of, I felt that way with some of the other ones too. It's like,
Yeah, I feel you.
But
I don't know. I wouldn't.
That's how I felt about, well, after it actually happened, that's how I felt about the Dipset and the Lox joint.
After it happened.
After it happened. But here's the crazy thing. Prior to it happening, right? I was like back in the days, I was a Dipset fan. You know what I'm saying?
See, I was Lox.
Me too, Lox.
Yeah, I was Lox, man.
See, and I'm not gonna say. You see, for me, like my original experience with the Lox was them on Bad Boy, and them doing like the.
I got you. Yeah.
And you know they was, and not to say that they couldn't take it and go back to the streets with it, but like
their lyrics was still gangster on that track, sir.
I'm not saying that they wasn't. I'm talking about the beats that they was spitting to. Because remember the beats they was spitting to on Bad Boy. Because remember Puff was always trying to make something for the radio. Whereas when they got to Rough Riders, and when they went from the Lox to D Block and all that, everything all of a sudden got real, just real hood and grimy. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it was like, I was like, it was just confusing for me. You know what I mean? But like Dipset, from day one, they was like on the sped up soul samples. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love their beat choices.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like
speaking of Cam, did you see him on Funk Flex?
I didn't see that. Freestyle yet, but I've been waiting. I've been trying to watch it, but I just haven't got to.
Yo, all right.
What you think, sis? What you think?
It was all right, you know. But I'm gonna tell you honestly what fucked me up with that, and I'm gonna tell Cheese when you watch it, just look at Flex. I was so uncomfortable with the way Flex was looking at him. I mean, it's not one thing to be.
You don't say less, fam.
Yeah.
Say less,
bro. And it's one thing to look at a person and be like, damn, they really good. I appreciate their art and what they're doing. But then there's a whole other thing when you licking your lips and you look like you just want to. Swallow this whole man.
You want to have that man baby.
So I was so uncomfortable. I kept noticing it. My eyes kept going back to Flex and going back to Flex. And I'm like, poor Cam. I can't even listen to the rest of this shit. I boogied. No, but he was doing what Cam do. You know, the computer Putin in his
Come on,
listen, man. Like, you gonna stop fronting on Cam?
You ain't right.
Nah, I always love Cam. I think he had
that's
one of the
fact.
most unique.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
You have. Yeah.
But you know what Cam did though, right? Not for nothing. Remember, Cam used to spit crazy, right? Mm-hmm. And then he realized, he was like, "Yo, motherfuckers is doing half the effort that I'm giving. So you know what? I'm gonna do the same thing, and these motherfuckers is gonna love it." And
they did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You even have brothers all the way out here in Kansas wearing pink.
That's where I drew the line. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't fucking pink.
You know why?
I wasn't wearing pink personally, no. But brothers out here, I ain't got nothing against the color pink.
That just wasn't for me.
But it's also different too, because when you're from New York, we all the other boroughs look at them Harlem pretty boys like, eh. Well, it's just a borough thing, bro. That's all it is.
It's real. The shit is real. And like to this day, the shit is still the same. And I'm in Harlem right now.
It's like that. Even like we're all divided.
Yo, I ain't never seen a sidewalk that was as dirty as it is on 125th and Lex.
Damn.
Like
it's like that.
Yo, it's crazy. One time I was on the train at like, I want to say like 1 a.m. on 25th and Lex. Holy shit. Worst decision I ever made. Should have took a fucking cab. Like, because the train was coming for 14 minutes. Longest 14 minutes of my fucking life. Yo, computers be putin', crackheads be cracking. Yo.
Oh, man.
Yo, crazy.
I don't know. Flex fucked that whole shit up for me though.
You wasn't feeling the love that Flex was giving out?
Because the video I seen was on Instagram and it was a swipe because it's only a certain amount of time. So by the time I got through the second, I got to the second, I couldn't take it no more. I almost made a post about it and said I am entirely uncomfortable with the way Flex is looking at him right now, so I can't.
I'm sure people would say that in the comments, like, "Yo, Flex was really good with you, bro." Like,
shit, somebody should have. It was beyond. I was like, oh my god.
Nobody want to get canceled.
But right. Quickly, speaking of verses, now that you brought that up, I've been seeing a couple things floating around Instagram too as a rumor saying Nicki Minaj been hinting at doing the verses.
With who?
With who?
She hasn't said, but that's the question.
But she's putting that energy out there.
She's put it out there in 3 different interviews. She said that what she said was they reached out and who knows what could happen. We'll see. So that to me tells me,
So there's talks going on. Okay.
They wouldn't put that out there if she's not going to do it. At least that's what I think.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I took from it. So
they threw an offer out there to somebody.
Right. Who though? Because you gotta be careful with who you put to. Because are we gonna have the cattiness? We can't include all females because y'all don't get along. What is it gonna be? You know what I mean? Because Nicki don't get along with a few females we know out there that. Not to say she has to go against a female, either.
Right.
But
I don't think anybody wants to see Nicki Minaj versus their favorite male rapper. Like it's
I would rather see
different vibe. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can't even think like who like as a rapper, as a male rapper, like has a vibe that's like next to Nicki's besides like Lil Kim.
Safari. I'm leaving.
You crazy. Wow.
No, I'm just kidding.
Wait. He got records?
No,
look.
Safari used to write a lot of her shit though and help
Oh,
her.
that's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, listeners, Nicki Minaj, if you happen to be listening, Ms.LeD apologizes.
Do that shit. See, I can't put none of the greats though. I was gonna put cause you know we need the Lil Kim and Foxy verses. I don't care how we gotta get it done. It ain't gonna happen.
Do I want to see that though?
I want to see it.
I don't think I want to see it, yo.
I want to see it for good old time's sake.
Last time I seen Foxy, it wasn't
That's
wasn't
true.
Right, you know what I mean?
Because of her health,
her hearing,
the ear,
you know what I mean? Like,
and I get it, but I don't know. I wouldn't want to see Lil Kim with anyone else, only because when I was coming up at that time,
well, yeah, we was there.
Yeah,
that was the big,
right?
Yeah, like they try to pit Nicki and Cardi against each other. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
But back then, this was more prolific. Than that, you know, because they was out like, you know, there was a lot of stuff going on, you know.
And they were the only two mainstream female artists we had too, because
that was big names at the time. Because there was other people out there that I like the Brat. The Brat was my shit.
Yeah,
by that point, she wasn't really doing the Brat.
But she was, she was a little bit after. But I'm just talking about during that
I'll
late 90s.
I'll be honest with you, bro. I can't
I remember Brat
think of any Brat songs.
Brat was out for a while.
We was in high school. Like, remember, that's when Funkdafied came out. Remember?
Okay, there's a song. I was just going to say, I'll be honest with you. When you tell me to say some Brat songs, I can't think of a lot.
Remember she had the B-side joint with Biggie?
Yes.
That was my joint.
You're right. I forgot all about.
Who other? Let's see. Trina.
Sorry, I can't show my...
I'm just thinking right now, just off the top of my head, like joints that was...
This is a good thing to because if you put, I feel like the bodies of work, like you could say, all right, Foxy, Lil Kim probably got more music than Foxy, right? But you could say that's a good matchup because it's going to be semi-equal in amounts. Trina and what you call it would be a good amount because how many hits does the Brat really have out there? Is it over 5? She's also been a remix person, jump on remix and body more so than her own song.
Yeah, Brat got Funkdafied. I wouldn't call a B-side a hit, but it was an underground. It was definitely an underground
street
joint.
hit.
Yeah. Then she had that joint with Tyrese, like, but that wasn't like
now same thing with Trina. How many songs can you name from Trina?
And Trina's on a lot of joints with
sorry.
But
could you go over 5 or 6?
But Trina got mad features too, though.
How about that?
Yeah, she also has features.
She got a lot of features.
I said I don't know Nan. See
yeah. No Nan.
I got it. That was clever.
I'm sorry. I've been doing that shit with my students all week. I can't help it.
But it's difficult, like. So we had Eve too, which is a different era. She came after, but who would you put? Eve. Don't forget, we got Missy Elliott. We always bring up. Of course.
Missy's also a Mount Rushmore.
Right.
Facts.
And
you know what I mean.
You also
not to say that Nicki's not. I'm not saying Nicki ain't yet, but she's definitely going to be on it.
She's not, because you know why?
Not
Missy
just
also, you got to take into the production and the music.
Facts.
She's made.
And the writing and
writing, the amount. She's way more involved, so she's definitely Mount Rushmore. Like
see, Nicki is like, to me, Nicki is there as an artist / performer. You know what I mean? Like you know, because people say the things about her not writing, so as soon as your writing like comes up like as like, hey, well, maybe this person didn't write their songs and stuff like that. And
discussion.
Yeah, I'm not against it, but like to me, you can't like say like you are the best rapper if you don't write your own.
The only reason why I'm not against it, let me clarify what I'm saying. The only reason why I'm not against it in this instance in particular, because when you're also an R&B singer that's also rapping, I can understand where there'll be some influences of some writers coming in to probably help you out.
To write the R&B parts.
Right. That's why I'm saying I'm clarifying what I'm saying. Now, I know how you feel, because we from that era where, like, yo, if you had a ghostwriter or something like that, like you was already
like, you know, me and you was tripping when that whole Meek Mill and Drake shit. We was like, Drake ain't writing this shit, but we knew that. But when it came to light,
and then the whole controversy behind, you know, Gilly the Kid and Lil Wayne, and I mean, there's been different instances of that coming up.
I'll be honest with you, that was one of the reasons why, like, whenever people talk about Wayne and they talk about him as being like the best rapper alive or whatever they call him. I'm like, yeah, he's influential. Culturally, he's influential. But, like, was he writing his stuff? You know what I mean? It's too many examples of people being like, yo, he didn't write this, he didn't write that. And I already, and you know, and this ain't no hater or nothing like that. But I remember Wayne before, like, what's that, the Carter 2? The Carter 2 was the one when people started looking at Wayne like, oh my God. It's like he took rap steroids. Because prior to that, it was wobbly, wobbly, wah, wobbly, wobbly, wah. Then all of a sudden, he was down south Jay-Z. Like, come on, man. Like, you, like, I'm not saying people.
That Carter 2 was tight, though.
Yes. It absolutely was.
Man.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like,
I know what you're saying, though.
Remember the albums before that? Remember 400 Degrees?
Oh, yeah. I grew up with Hot Boys. I grew up on all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So he wasn't doing that. You know what I mean? And I get it. It was a different sound. They had Manny Fresh doing the beats, and they went from Manny Fresh to like a more like they went from like, you know, Manny Fresh to a more like soulful sound, like for a lot of the tracks or whatever. But I just feel like whatever, like when you heard Snoop on the Dre beat, and then you heard Snoop on whoever was doing, I think it was Daz doing the beats when Dre left, and then you heard Snoop on Beats by the Pound joint. Snoop didn't all of a sudden change who he was. You know what I mean? It was always Snoop on all them beats. You know what I'm saying? Like so it was just kind of weird to me that like Wayne went from.
That's a perfect way to put it. Yeah.
You know Wayne went from Manny Fresh to like these newer beats, and then like the beats change and the delivery and the lyrics. But you know, I wasn't there, so I wouldn't know.
No, I totally get it. It's like
I wasn't outside.
Like
and you ain't the only one who thinks that.
Right.
People that was out, you know, was out when that, you know, those transitions was happening with him, you know, breaking away from the situation he was in and going solo, and yeah, man, people noticed the difference.
Yeah. Somebody came in and rewrote everything. That's the difference. But it's like, picture your favorite fucking, like, that's like you telling me Big Pun didn't write his shit. I'd be heartbroken. Or Rakim, those are my two faves. Like, don't do
Rakim. Like, don't put him in that. No.
That's what I'm saying. Those are my two all-time faves. If you told me they didn't write even a quarter of this shit, I'd be heartbroken. Man. You know what I'm saying? So
that's because that's just where we came from. You know what I'm saying?
That was a no-no.
We came up because it was all. I mean, that's why. I mean, it's a topic of discussion because we're talking about verses, and you know what I'm saying. It was a competitive thing to not have, you know what I'm saying, people in your room, you know, in the studio with you writing bars and you know coming up with stuff. Like, used to take pride in going into a dark corner somewhere and shutting the door and just getting busy with the pen. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah, that's why I was laughing with that Ja Rule and Fat Joe verses when all these hooks were coming onto these hit songs that Fat Joe had. Ja Rule was in the corner like, I wrote that hook though. I wrote that hook.
Yeah,
thank you. I wrote that hook though. I did this though, right? And I was just laughing because Ja Rule wrote tons of shit, even for singers.
Yeah,
people don't know that.
Yeah, the joint. He wrote the joint he had. I think it was with Mary J. Blige, Rainy Days or something like that.
Yeah,
he originally wrote that for TLC. Cause he was like, yo, this could be like almost like a sequel to Waterfalls. He was like, it was inspired by Waterfalls.
I can see
that. They wasn't feeling it, and
that makes sense.
But Mary took it.
Well, Mary did it justice. So thank you for not feeling it, TLC. One of my favorite shits.
Switch up one last time. Super Bowl coming up. A little bit of sports talk. Y'all looking forward to the halftime show?
Did you see that commercial?
I thought you were just
That's
talking
why
about
I'm bringing up the halftime show. Halftime show. You got Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Dr.
Mary,
Dre, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige.
But I heard there's a rumor saying Mary could only perform one song. I'm a little mad about that.
There's a rumor too floating around that 50 Cent might make an appearance.
You know he probably will. Yeah. That commercial was fucking sick though.
It's dope.
I love the fact that they're doing that. The NFL just.
Yeah, that's a whole.
Always
that's a whole nother. We're not going down that rabbit hole. We're not doing that.
But that's why I'm lost with football. I love football, but I stopped fucking with it a while ago because of the phony shit, and now I'm lost. I don't know who's a good team anymore. I really used to love football, but I don't know.
from what people, what they called it in the group chats I'm in, they call the Super Bowl the Bum Bowl. Like I don't watch football, but they was like it's not a good game or whatever. I wouldn't know.
All we have to look forward to is the halftime show. Then that's what
we're talking about. These artists. That's why I brought it up.
I could dig.
And you ain't got to watch the Super Bowl to watch the halftime.
Right,
you know that's gonna be everywhere.
Oh, I'm gonna watch it anyway. Yeah,
it's gonna be on YouTube.
But yeah, that's gonna be crazy. I'm hyped for Mary and Kendrick. I'm hyped for them 2 performances. Like, that's what I'm hyped for. But I'll be mad if Mary's only allowed to do 1 song. But I guess you gotta fit it in when you got so many people performing at one. What is it? A half an hour or hour?
It's like 20 minutes, 20 minutes.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, she's definitely
she gonna get a verse.
Not enough time.
Yep.
Because, like, you really think about it, like, and what's Mary going to, I'm just saying, what's she going to perform? Because, like, not to say she can't perform, but I need some of that early Mary. Because the Mary, the After My Life Mary, I'm good.
I was thinking if Dre brought her, they might do that joint that she did the singing for.
Oh, let's get
the message.
You talking about Dancery?
No, yeah. I'm talking about the message. I'm not talking about when she re-sang that part for him. I'm thinking maybe he'll have her do that because they're saying Dre is really the main headliner. He's the one who brought everyone, right?
I'm kind of thinking that she's gonna be doing a lot of ad libs.
You know what I think they're gonna do with her though, bro? For real, I think they're gonna give her like a minute and be like squeezing multiple little songs.
Dancery is a hit though.
So you probably will get 3-4 seconds of Dancery, Family Affair. There's so much she could do.
It ain't like they go do the Mary and Meth joint or none of that. Now I would go crazy if they did. That's
Oh.
Yo, that song.
I need.
Oh my God, I was in love with this girl in high school.
That took you back. Looking gaze into a distance,
that song, between that song and Can't You See by Total. Oh my God. Them 2 right there.
Man, we had some good music coming up, didn't we? Man,
come on, fam. We could talk for hours, man. Listen.
We had some good music coming up. I wanted to change it for a thing. Listening to all of it. Like, I loved our shit.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. That's a fact. It's because, I mean, you know what I like, and this is not to like shit on like the music now and nothing, but I would like just based on the music, like the variety of music that we had coming up or whatever. Like the variety of types of like of hip hop.
It was all with the variety, bro. That's the key word.
Like I
respectable word.
I would be like it would like I would be like bored as a kid if like all I had to listen to was like drill rap. You know what I mean? Like, and there's nothing against drill artists and nothing.
No,
I love the drill beats. They be hitting. I will never say that because I listen to a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? I love what they're doing with the 808s in there, and even though that like technically like it's these are the drill beats from at least from what I heard, that's a lot of that was like UK drill, like a lot of the beats that they on now, and the beats was popping, so they was like, oh, let's get some of that and it spit to that or whatever. Like, so I love what they're doing, but I'm just saying like I couldn't imagine being like if that's like the one sound that's really really hitting the airwaves. And that's like the majority of what you hear. But at the same time, that's just the radio, right? Because that's how the radio always functions. They always got their top list or whatever they playing. So
priorities.
Yeah, they gotta pay their bills.
Priorities. Yeah.
Gotta pay their bills. They can't broadcast for free.
Right.
Facts.
Right.